Alright, I know we're all very tired when it comes to talking about a Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase. However, this morning we got a lot of teases from the one and only Pyoro himself, the most reliable Nintendo leaker of all time, so I wanted to hop on today and talk about all of these hints and what they could possibly mean. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch speculation, discussions, theories, all of that stuff, I really would appreciate you subscribing. Let's get into it. Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games, and today we are talking once again about this partner showcase. I know I said I was done, but just like a freaking fish, man, I keep getting reeled back in here, because I feel like every couple days something else happens, some new development occurs that makes this partner showcase either more exciting or just even more likely in general. So I'm not even going to get into the whole it being delayed thing here. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe the insiders were wrong and it was always meant to be this week. I don't know, and frankly, I don't even really care. But we do have confirmation from Puro, which, once again, if you don't know who Puro is, this person has accurately leaked the past two Nintendo Directs and pretty much their entirety when it comes to first-party Nintendo announcements. They have leaked some third-party stuff, they leak NSO updates. They have never said something that ended up being inaccurate, and they are saying that there will be a partner showcase this week. And over the past 24 hours, they have started doing their normal shtick of just teasing announcements that could end up being in this partner showcase. Now, I'm recording this on Monday morning. It is possible that they end up leaking more, but I wanted to get this video out now and kind of just theorize what these tweets could end up meaning. So, first of all, I mean, this one's pretty straightforward. Someone asked if Contra will be there, and Puro said it will get a demo. So if you don't know, in the last Nintendo Direct, there was that Contra Operation Galuga game announced. I think it's a remake of like the first Contra game. So apparently that's going to get a demo. So there you go. I don't know. I don't really know who needs a demo for a remake of the first Contra game. I'd imagine that's a game that, you know, could have even been Shadow Drop maybe. Maybe that would have been more exciting. But hey, Contra Operation Galuga, definitely getting a demo if we are to believe Pyoro here, which, once again, I think we can safely assume he is right here. But then late last night, it got really crazy because Pyoro tweeted out, "Is Game Freak a partner?" And then they said, yes, it is, with a screenshot here of Game Freak being a Japanese video game developer partner of Nintendo. So this immediately got people speculating, like, okay, well, we're probably getting a Pokemon Presents next week on Tuesday on the 27th. So what could Game Freak have for a partner showcase? Well, if you aren't aware, Game Freak does develop games outside of Pokemon. I know that's hard to believe. This was especially true in like the early 2010s, where they released Harmonite on the 3DS. They released that game at Timbo the Badass Elephant on PS4. Giga Wrecker Alts, of course, most recently they did a Little Town Hero, but actually most recently they just did that Pocket Car Jockey kind of remake or port to Apple Arcade. And you know, at first I was thinking this might be teasing that new Pandland game that they trademarked a couple months back. I never made a video talking about that, but Game Freak did file a trademark for a game called Pandland, so maybe that will end up being the Project Bloom game they're working on with Private Division, which is, I think, slated to come out in 2026. But Puro did like a tweet from Neko Relief, actually, funnily enough, referring to Pocket Card Jockey. So I think the safest bet here is that Pocket Card Jockey from Apple Arcade will get ported to the Switch eShop. Probably Shadow Dropped, probably not published by Nintendo. Game Freak has done some of their own publishing. Little Town Hero was published by Game Freak digitally, but then physically it was published by NIS America. And listen, I know Pocket Card Jockey might not be the most exciting announcement. However, that is a classic 3DS eShop game. I really loved it when I played it for the first time last year, actually. It's like solitaire horse racing. It's really fun. So if that comes to Switch and, you know, more people get to play it, that's nothing but a good thing in my opinion. You know, maybe it'd be more exciting to see a new announcement, whatever this Pandland game is, something else entirely. But hey, I think we'll be getting our fill of Game Freak next week, so I'm fine with Pocket Card Jockey. But then this cheeky little Pyoro kind of tweeted out something crazy and gave us one tiny hint and then left the internet ablaze. They tweeted, "Is Nintendo a partner? Is Nintendo a partner? Is Nintendo considered a partner?" So basically, they're teasing that there will be a first-party Nintendo game here, or at least a game that Nintendo publishes that maybe a third-party develops. We have seen third-party games pop up in partner showcases. Age of Calamity was a partner showcase. Bravely Default 2 and Live Live were both in partner showcases, which Nintendo doesn't develop those games, but they publish them, at least in North America and Europe. In these cases, though, those games are published in Japan by Koei Tecmo and by Square Enix. So this, I feel like, would have to be a game Nintendo publishes in America, but not in Europe. And then they tease further, saying, sometimes Nintendo can be a partner because they love dolphins. So my mind immediately went to Wave Race, because, obviously, Wave Race, water, dolphins, and then Endless Ocean. But Nintendo published both of those games in Japan and just worldwide in general. There was never an Endless Ocean game that Nintendo didn't publish in any region. So it could be Endless Ocean, and I think that's the safer assumption just based on like keeping expectations low. If you don't know what Endless Ocean is, I actually haven't played it, so I'm not too familiar with the gameplay loop, but I know you like go on these little sea expeditions, you go down diving, I think you can like collect treasure or something. It could be Endless Ocean, maybe not the most exciting announcement, but I'm always here for more random games getting ported. I love like Another Code, for example, coming over to the Switch just because it gives people more of a chance to play these kind of forgotten Nintendo published games. But a lot of people are running with this Dolphin hint, taking it to mean more GameCube games, because Nintendo GameCube, of course, the codename was Dolphin, Dolphin Emulator. Could we be getting another GameCube game announced here? I don't know what it would be. Maybe Nintendo breaks their little rule of it can't be a game that they publish in Japan. I mean, maybe that's not really a rule. I think Part-Time UFO they did publish in Japan from HAL Laboratories, so maybe that's not really a rule, but like, if it were to be a GameCube game, what would it be? My mind was thinking of like games that were outsourced to other developers, even if they still did publish it in Japan, like Eternal Darkness, or maybe Geist, or something. You know, something just completely random. The optimistic outlook here is Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, or Metroid Prime 2 and 3, or even Thousand Year Door. Of course, that still doesn't have a release date, but I don't know, man. I feel like that's setting yourself up for failure. If you're expecting a first-party Nintendo GameCube game to be announced and maybe even shadow dropped in this partner showcase, that's definitely like, that's too optimistic, right? But Puro very rarely leads us astray. Just the sheer fact that they tweeted "Is Nintendo a partner?" indicates that there will be a game Nintendo publishes, at least in America and Europe, in this partner showcase. Maybe something else, though. I mean, even last week when I did my kind of predictions, or maybe not really predictions, but like video talking about how this partner showcase could be really good, I talked about the possibility of a new Warriors game being announced, a new game from Square Enix being announced that Nintendo does publish, but a GameCube game? That wasn't really on my radar, because most GameCube games wouldn't really fit that criteria of a first-party game being in a partner showcase. I would love to be wrong, but I don't know, man. For now, me personally, I'm just gonna kind of assume it's Endless Ocean or something even lesser than that, just to not get my hopes up, but maybe it's an entirely new project. Maybe it's like a Donkey Kong game or something where Donkey Kong rides on a dolphin. I don't freaking know, man. It's very weird. It's a very weird tease, and I'm sure Puro will kind of enlighten us a little bit more in the coming days here, which, I mean, hey, we shouldn't have to wait that long to begin with. I mean, this partner showcase, it was supposedly going to happen on the 15th last week, but this Thursday, Side Order comes out, so I would imagine this will happen on Wednesday if it ends up happening at all, but if Puro's talking about it, I think it will happen. So yeah, we're getting some sort of first-party Nintendo announcement in this partner showcase. We'll just have to wait and see what it is. I'm just very confused on the criteria for what would make a first-party game show up in a partner showcase, especially if it's a GameCube game. I was looking around, I saw Doshin the Giant wasn't published by Nintendo for the 64DD, but it was published by Nintendo on the GameCube. If you know of any other GameCube games that Nintendo published in America and Europe, but not Japan, let me know in the comments below. Maybe we can kind of figure out together what this GameCube game could be, if it is a GameCube game at all. Once again, though, I'm still going to lean towards Endless Ocean because, frankly, I don't think that's that exciting, and I just kind of feel like that's maybe the safer assumption, not to get my hopes up too much. Now, that wasn't all Pure tweeted, or at the very least hinted at. He did like a tweet asking if Level 5 will be in this partner showcase. Now, Pure didn't tweet this themselves, but they did like a tweet referring to it, and typically when Puro likes a tweet, that kind of confirms what they're hinting at. So it seems likely that Level 5 will be here. There is that Megaton Musashi game coming out in April. There is Inazuma 11, which I think is getting a beta in March, actually. So, I mean, this is something I predicted anyway. I did think we would see some sort of Level 5 representation here. I hope it goes beyond those two games, though, because those are already kind of imminent. I hope we see Deca Police, I hope we see Fantasy Life, and ideally, I hope we see Professor Layton and Yokai Watch, but maybe that's kind of expecting too much here. But at the very least, I would expect to see Megaton Musashi and Inazuma 11 in this Partner Direct. But it's not just Puro we have to look for when it comes to potential Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase announcements, because Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance was rated in Korea. Now, there has been rumors for like 2 years now of a complete edition of SMT5 coming to other platforms. I think it was part of the Nvidia leak like 2 or 3 years ago. It seems like that might finally be coming to fruition, and I think this would totally make sense to pop up in a partner showcase here. The description basically just says it's going to be a complete edition of SMT5 with additional content. Now, I don't think that game had any DLC to begin with, so complete edition is a little weird, but added content would be nice. I mean, I think the hope was that SMT5 would come to PS5, Xbox, PC, so it can run a little bit better on better hardware, because I know the performance of SMT5 on Switch is one of the main complaints with that game. But also, as someone who hasn't played SMT5 yet, I was kind of hoping that we would get an SMT4 apocalypse scenario here, where we basically get a sequel to the original game. And I guess that could be the case with this added content, additional content that is supposedly going to be in the game, but I would imagine it's not as significant if that's the case, if it's including the original base game as well. Kind of just like an epilogue story or something. But SMT5 Vengeance, I mean, it being rated in Korea doesn't necessarily mean it'll show up in a partner showcase, but if a partner showcase is happening this week, I feel like the timing lines up properly. I guess the question would also be, would this even make sense to come to Switch? Because the Switch already has SMT5. This would be more for PC and PS5, I feel like. But if it has new content, then I guess Atlas would just go ahead and sell it again. I mean, why not? So I totally think this would make sense to pop up in the partner showcase. And if that's the case, right, if we're getting SMT5, but then also a potential first-party game from Nintendo, be it a GameCube game, be it Endless Ocean, we're getting a Game Freak announcement, we're getting Level 5, we're getting this Contra demo, that already to me sounds like at least a mildly decent partner showcase. You know, for what we normally get with partner showcases, it's not normally that exciting. And if we're getting a Game Freak game, which, even if it is Pocket Card Jockey, like, that's still more exciting than like some random thing, right? And a first-party Nintendo game, no matter how you slice it, if that's a new announcement, that automatically makes it more exciting than like 90% of other partner showcases. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I will say, if it's happening this week, I would expect an announcement tomorrow. I feel like they'll announce it 24 hours in advance if there is going to be a new Nintendo first-party game announced here, but maybe not. Maybe it'll just be shadow dropped on Wednesday or Thursday, who knows, but I would expect an announcement tomorrow morning. Personally, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards at this point, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. What do you think of these potential leaks for this Nintendo Direct Mini? Do you think they're real? Do you think they're BS? What do you think this Nintendo game could actually end up being? And if all this ends up being true, are you excited to watch this partner showcase this week? Of course, if you're new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch speculation theories, subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. I've been posting every single day, so I would appreciate you doing so. You can follow me on Twitter at BotoxGames and join the Discord that is linked down below. Until next time, folks, peace.